Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another fun and exciting. It's so exciting. Doesn't you love packaging? If you were listening to this popped up and you were like, this made my day. I got another People of Packaging podcast episode. You are a true packaging nerd and a real superhero. And today is not going to disappoint, I guarantee you. I'm joined by co-founders Kate McLamb and Lauren Alexander. They are the founders of Sistine Spritz, and they have a really cool story, and they've done something that I've never actually heard about on the podcast, and I'm not gonna, I think it's called Bury the Lead. I don't know. I'm not a journalist. I'm a packaging professional. So I don't know if I'm doing something right or wrong in journalism, but whatever it is, we're gonna get to it. So without further ado, let's get to this interview with Kate and Lauren.
And we really wanted to make a world like Sistine, again, like Lauren said, the Spritz is a piece of it, but the world is what we're creating. We wanted people to feel a part of it, and it to have like real roots and real foundation. So any product we bring into the world, it's understood.
Hi,
how are you guys?
great.
We're
Thank you.
so good.
Coming on to your very first packaging podcast.
Yes.
I'm gonna guess it's a lovely. It looks like it's a lovely Friday in Los Angeles. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, it's warm. We're in
Yep.
summer.
We are in summer. It is sunny as usual.
It's the weird. So we're recording this on February 6th, and oh, look at that! It's 2626. That's fun. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine in Nashville, and he was like, there is ice and snow and ice and snow, and like we can't get around. And I'm in Salt Lake City. I'm like, it was 60 degrees yesterday, and it felt like a spring day. It's the weirdest thing, but we won't complain.
It's
You get to
perfect spritz weather.
It's perfect spritz weather. That's great. So why don't we start with whoever wants to start, and we'll do an introduction, and you can kind of just say who you are, what you do, and then I want to get into not only your story, but the story of Sistine. I said Spirits, Sistine Spritz. I'll have to. I won't redo it. I leave my errors out there.
We're fine with that.
I put them right out on the open, so I'm not gonna edit out my mistake. Sistine Spritz, and we'll get into the story. And I love this: the pursuit of romantic rebellion for a life well lived. Really cool. So let's start with Lauren. Why don't you do a quick introduction?
I'm Lauren Alexander. I am born and bred California girl. I have been building an apparel line for the past 20 years. So I've been a clothing designer. So that is my trade. I started something called the Wine Society in 2017 so I could host these natural wine dinners and teach people about winemakers and tell stories and really curate a sexy evening. So you can see how this sort of led to the Sistine Spritz, my need to sort of create this beautiful beverage around entertainment, around being with people and friends and telling stories. And that's when I met Kate when I had the Wine Society. So I had this idea for the Spritz, and I didn't want to do it alone. And I'd been waiting sort of to find the perfect person to help bring this to life. And I met Kate, and I took her to wine one night, and we sat at a bar, and I said, will you do this with me?
That is amazing. I have so many other questions, but I want to hear from Kate. First of all, did I say your last name correctly? Normally I ask beforehand. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to jump in. So I only said your company's name wrong, but I got your name right.
Yes. I'm Kate McLamb, and Virginia born, but California for the last 13 years. And my background is entertainment mostly. So think video production, that world. And then also bringing things to life. So a little bit of business development. And when Lauren came to me with this idea, anything Lauren says, it's just a yes. And I really believed in everything. You know, it does help when you have a couple drinks in you when you're asked to do something, but it was a really easy yes. And I think, you know, something she and I have done from the get-go is really follow our intuition. And to me, the fact that everything inside was saying yes was all I needed.
Oh, that's amazing. Funny story, actually. the podcast, the People of Packaging podcast, started it at it's an event called Lux Pack in New York City. If you've ever heard of it, it's pretty awesome. It's just luxury packaging. And I was out there and I was having drinks with who's now become a really good friend of mine, but I didn't know him at the time. His name is Ted Tate. Ted's a packaging engineer, but he's also an R&B and hip hop producer. He's from New York City, and we were just talking about like hip hop music and packaging and just kind of like culture and as like the evening went on, I was just like, this podcast thing is really we should start a packaging podcast. And we're like, what? And that was now 8 years ago. Actually, that was 9 years ago that we had this idea. And Ted's still a dear friend. So the point is, I think sometimes alcohol can really help spur some great ideas.
It certainly did for us.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think Homer Simpson said, to alcohol, the cause of and solution to all the world's problems.
There we go.
Amen.
That's a great story. So, but there's a lot that has to transpire, right? So, Lauren, are you still doing the things? Are you still hosting the wine events and
why
clothing company?
Yeah, I'm still a designer. Still have my clothing company, LNA. We're going on 21 years, so I still have that.
You got to host. Your company is now of legal drinking age.
Yeah, with Sistine, it now is just Wine Society. It's basically now Sistine. I got to use my love of hosting with the Wine Society. That's what we do with Sistine. We host tons of intimate dinner parties, take over restaurants. It's a really big part of our brand is bringing people together and storytelling. And you'll really see that on our socials. Our idea with the brand was we didn't want to launch it like most people launch an alcohol brand. We wanted to look at it from how people launch an apparel or a fashion company. So that was a really big part of how we launched the brand. So hosting is part of Sistine. It is a big part of the brand and why we have the brand and tell stories. And, our launch party was quite iconic in LA. We had 100 guests and they went through 100 bottles of Sistine.
Wow.
Plus a keg.
Which is about 27 bottles. So.
That sounds like a pursuit of a romantic rebellion for a life.
A very well-lived life.
It was in October 2024 at a restaurant in LA called Marvin. It's a very cool French bistro. Like, if you know, you know.
Yeah, I don't know, but it sounds cool. And Kate, are either one of you like full-time into this, or is it still this really cool thing, but you get to dabble in, you talked about like developing businesses and doing video production. Obviously, I'll pull up your website here. You've got some killer video production on your website. So clearly your background is also being able to pull in there, but what's your role kind of on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, we both still do other things, but I still produce and work on other projects. But I would say Sistine, especially now, is kind of taking that next step, and we get to spend more time on it, which is great.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna pull up the website here because I think it's so cool. So if you're listening to this, go check it out on YouTube. But you've got this really incredible, like, laid back communal vibe going on, right? Like, so you talk about starting with the brand. What, other than having some drinks, like, what was the genesis after that? Was it like, hey, let's make a cool video? Hey, let's design, the clothing of the brand, which is the packaging. Well, I always say that. I'm like, clothing is just human packaging, is really what it is. So
yeah.
How did you start to build this company? Everything starts somewhere other than with a drink.
Well, I had a really dear friend who had an amazing branding company out of London. And we knew from the beginning that we would want to go to his company and have them create the logo, the packaging, and really help us build the story of Sistine. before there was ever a drink, before there was a logo, before there was a font, anything, there was several hours of conversations for weeks and months, just talking with the team about Sistine. What did it feel like? What did it sound like? We were creating playlists, and it was mood boarding all day, every day, to really build the story of Sistine and what it felt like. And, then them interviewing Kate and myself and really getting into the crux of what we wanted to say. So we have this joke that we could have launched Sistine and never actually had the drink because we were telling so many stories and just curating all the time. So it really started with the branding agency and creating the mood first.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really wanted to make a world. Like Sistine, again, like Lauren said, the spritz is a piece of it, but the world is what we're creating. We wanted people to feel a part of it, and it to have like real roots and real foundation. So any product we bring into the world, it's understood.
So you started with, if I were to, I want to get into the packaging here in a second, but would you say you started with, where did I see? I guess I saw something that was, Gather.
Yeah.
There's a lot
we
of
started
this
with
is
the
cool.
storytelling. Yeah. And creating playlists. We have a great Spotify, by the way.
Oh, nice. Is there a, what's the over, is it kind of across all sorts of genres? Your Spotify
All
playlist?
genres. Yeah. The first one was made to like you're having a dinner party, you're having friends over for a aperitif. It's all music to drink spritz to, essentially.
Okay.
Any gathering you're having, you can put on a Sistine playlist. Sets the mood every time.
Okay. That's awesome. Oh yeah, look at this. We got Sounds Volume 1, Sounds Volume 2.
We take a playlist very seriously.
I was telling my kids, I was like, yeah, I used to burn your mom's CDs.
Yeah.
Like, you burned them? I'm like, no, not like the fire. I made
copied them.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm old enough to have made like an actual cassette tape mixtape.
Yeah, we have a fun.
Yeah.
We have a fun 1980 SL 450 Mercedes that Sistine has inherited, and it only has a CD player, which is also not original, but it's been really fun to start collecting CDs again.
It's the best. Totally randomly, but I have a 2002 Audi that's a 6-speed manual with a fully working cassette tape and 6-disc CD changer. And my kids think it's the greatest thing when I put on a cassette tape and we just listen to a cassette. There's something cool about the nostalgia, and obviously you're leaning into that as well. And I think I'm going to pull this down because I think this is really interesting from a brand perspective. It's such a, like, it is rebellious in the sense that so much community is happening on screens. Like we are, like this is it's community, but it's always going to be a letdown unless you can just sit and like be with people, just be in someone's presence. I think is really powerful, and I hope and pray it's something that does not leave our civilization for a very long time, because there's so much beauty in it. And it's honestly, it's hard to really, really hate somebody when you're sitting there having a drink with them, even if you disagree on whatever the topic of the day is. You always seem to find ways to come to a common place, and that's the idea of community, which is like a common unity together. So I don't know. I just think it's really cool. I didn't anticipate getting all philosophical, but
no, it's true. I think that's why we love the events that we do. Our favorite thing is going to one of the retail shops and doing a tasting and meeting new people and talking to them. And I think it's so special because you're right. We are on our phones or our devices so much. And so much of Sistine is bringing people together and enjoying life.
Oh, yeah. I did an Ethiopian coffee tasting once. This was like 20 years ago. I've never forgotten it. Just sitting around a 4-hour-long process of watching how coffee it's celebrated in Ethiopia. It was so beautiful. to be a part of. That was in Fort Collins, Colorado, but it was just one of those things. Eating traditional food, being with people is really incredible.
What really connects you to the product? Once you know about, when you meet the founders, the people who are making it, hear the story of how it was made, it really connects you to it, and you drink it in a completely different way.
Well, let's get into the product here, because this is a couple of questions. This is a glass. This bottle in particular, right? Is this glass?
Yes.
Champagne bottle.
Champagne bottle, 750. So think of your wine, but a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and you've got a wax seal. I'm guessing this is.
Oh yeah, every factory's worst nightmare.
I was going to say it. Wow. And where did the wax seal idea come from?
It came from our branding agency. We worked with, I will say, some of the most talented people at Black Ink Projects. They are incredible. And we had been going through so many iterations of ideas and inspiration. And the minute Kate and I saw this, it was game over. Like, that's it. That's the one.
We had a lot of conversations around shelf space, right? And the idea of walking into a wine shop and looking at this like kind of overwhelming amount of wine, right? And at least for me, depending on the day, I will choose a bottle of wine based on the label. Yeah. I am that person.
We all are.
Yeah. And so we sat there and said, what stands out? Like, what would be different? What would make you stop and go, oh, I want to see that bottle. I want to like go take it and look at it. And when they showed us this, it was just, we knew that was it. And for us too, we have this other iterations of spritz and flavors that will come out, and we get to change the color.
Yeah. And so this is a clear champagne bottle. Obviously it doesn't, it's you can see the liquid, but you mentioned like you started with the brand concepts and obviously the community, but you started with the brand before even getting into formulating. It was like, we want the color to look like this.
Yes.
And so let's formulate now so that if you're watching this, you can see this, the kind of the blue and the
against that ruby red.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had these mock-ups, and then we had to go to our formulator, and we were trying the aperitif first. So the drink started with just the aperitif. And when they started to mix, we were like, hold on, this tastes amazing, but we actually need it to be this color, which is every formulator's sort of another nightmare, to have this benchmark of a computer generated image of a color. And it was actually not hard to get that color once we decided that was the color. And we use, it's beets and carrots. It's all vegetable dye or to color the drink. So we don't use anything artificial. And we were able to get the color very, very quickly. But yeah, there was a brand before there was a beverage.
That's a great, you are a marketing whiz.
She is.
That's amazing. Oh yeah, down here you've got the ingredients, and you have another. I didn't see it on the website, but Kate, I know you have it.
Oh yeah, the can.
Yeah, so you've got a can.
Light in here.
I wonder if I can.
It's on the site. I think it's on the site still. You should be able to see it.
Yeah, okay. If you
I'll look for it, but
scroll over from where the bottle is, you should be able to find it. But yeah, we have this one is actually, it's interesting. Our can size has changed a little bit, just as we've been learning more about production. There are certain standard sizing on canning machines, and then once you go away from that, it becomes a little bit more difficult. So we started with a slim can, and now we've gotten to it's a 222 milliliter can.
Okay.
And that's what we have right now.
Which is actually cuter. Yeah. More spritzy.
It's more spritzy. Did you start with the champagne bottle and then move to the can? So when you move to the can, obviously the entire format of your packaging, your brand clothing, is going to change. How was it, for example, trying to get the same color match from the side view of a of a product onto a can, I have to imagine that was an interesting process as well, or maybe it
Yeah.
still continues to be. I'm not sure.
It's hard to make a can look sexy. Like the bottle is so sexy. We have the wax stamp that's manually, like we have to put on each one I mean, we don't do it anymore, but it's put on by hand, each one, and you can tell in that bottle that it's a piece of art. And the can, it's hard to make a can look as sexy as the bottle. We wanted still the same simplicity that the bottle has, but with some punch, which is why you have the red label to kind of emulate the beverage, that red, with instead of the blue wax, the blue S. And we really I struggled with the can design for a long time till I liked it. But I think in the smaller format, it actually suits the label much better. But yeah, I think you're limited with a can design. That's why we do put so much into the merch and the bottle and everything else we do.
Is that a wraparound label or a shrink sleeve?
Yeah, it's a wraparound label.
Got it. Awesome.
So I do like the fact that even the wraparound label still has this sort of craft but elevated feel to it, like the bottle has with that wax seal.
Yeah, that's awesome. At one point I tried to make a campaign for aluminum cans. So so an aluminum can, if it has a shrink sleeve or a label on it, when it goes to get recycled, and maybe you don't know this, maybe it's new information, so I'll share it. When it goes to get recycled, the label or the shrink sleeves actually can get caught up in the grinder gears.
Oh, wow.
And causes a lot of problems. It used to not be a big deal, but then because of the explosion of really, great brands like Sistine and others that can't quite afford the 3 to 5 truckload minimum for a pre-decorated. It's a necessity, right? So I had this whole thing where it was like undress me to recycle me, and it was like the,
I like that.
Make cans look sexy.
Yeah, and then you pull it off.
Yeah, you have to peel off, or because you can put a tie in the unzipper the shrink sleeve, or peel off the label. So there you go. That is a best practice.
I like that.
Is to peel off the label and then recycle it and throw the label in the trash. It'll still probably get recycled. They're just not as excited about it as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's super cool. So, well, let's kind of we're at 22 minutes here. I would love to get into this part of the site, which is people are hearing about it. We're talking about this exquisite, lovely packaging. I'm sure it's an exceptional beverage, or else your first party wouldn't have had 87 bottles consumed. And to do that just out of the kindness of their heart, it's probably really easy to drink and very, very tasty. But I've got up here the where to find us. So is this mostly all right now in person? And this looks like all around LA?
Yes.
We do have one of our retailers, Stanley's Wet Goods. They do ship to about 13 states.
Okay.
So we do point people in that direction if they happen to fall within one of those lucky states. But otherwise, so we've, for our first year especially, we wanted to be in person and understand the market better, see what works. And it's been fun because even for us, we were not too excited about a can. We kind of pushed back and didn't want to do a can for a long time and only wanted to do a bottle. And when we finally gave in, I will say it's been amazing to see restaurants wanting to serve cans, which is something Lauren and I never thought would happen.
Yeah.
And so it's been a fun year of figuring things out.
There's something kind of sexy and fun about being at a restaurant, getting a can of Sistine and then your cup of ice, and you can just pour it. It's very, very cool. It's like a big trend now in LA, definitely having the canned beverage at a restaurant with your little sidecar.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Interesting. It kind of, in a weird way, excuse me, it would remind me of like a first class flight.
Yeah, exactly.
The first thing I think of is you're on a first class flight, and you get if you want to get a beverage, they typically bring out, sometimes they'll mix it, but sometimes they'll bring it out and you can kind of pour it yourself. And it's nice. And it kind of can feel, now yours is not going to be in a plastic cup. like sometimes those are, but
Let's hope not.
yeah, let's hope not. That would be well,
Hopefully on one of our custom Sistine glasses that's etched with the
Yes.
S. We have
Oh,
those.
so
Yeah, we made
these-
really cool Spritz glasses.
okay, well,
Very
that's
cool.
is that under merch?
No, just the hat right now. We're not selling them yet, but we give
Oh.
them to restaurants who sell it. It's a very cool branded piece of the company.
I love that everybody can't just get your stuff. I love that you have to, if you know, you
gotta
know.
work. Yeah, you gotta work for it.
You gotta work for it. I love it so much. I think that's fantastic. I am going to be I'm with my youngest son. I get to go to Hollywood and like Universal with him in March for just a father-son trip. So I'm going to go on there. I'm going to go on to SistineSpritz.com, not spirits, SistineSpritz.com, and I'll see what's around me and try to mosey on over and
You gotta try it.
work hard to
Yes.
to try it. Well, Kate and Lauren, this has been so fun. I'm excited to have played just the smallest little part, and I hope that you continue to have incredible success. What else would you like to plug? You've got the website. Are there socials? How would people learn more about Sistine?
Yeah, they can go to our Instagram account, Sistine Spritz. It's a very cool, fun account. Lots of sexy collages, playlists, photos of our parties. You can really immerse yourself in the brand on the Instagram page.
And the Spotify playlist, right?
Oh,
Yes.
you must. Everyone must.
Kate, do you have a favorite group that is on the Spotify playlist? If you had to call out
Trusted
one group, we're going to end it with this. You have to answer this as well, Lauren, but I'm going to put Kate on the. If
Oh man.
one group or
Okay.
band
I actually already know it.
playlist, who is it?
It's Air.
Oh my God, Air.
Yeah.
Don't know them. Is that bad?
You're about to. You're
Okay.
about to.
French, some Frenchmen playing cool synthy shoegaze music.
Yeah.
Very spritzy.
Okay.
But honestly, it now also reminds me of Lauren and I went to this show and we were not sitting together, and it was at the Hollywood Bowl. So you can take your own alcohol in or own drinks, anything like that. So we brought Sistine, obviously. Lauren brought it, and she like came around like a little god fairy, bringing us all Sistine cans and like handing
One for
them
you,
out.
one for you, one for you.
And I was like, this is the best concert I've ever been to.
They don't call me Spritz Queen for nothing.
Lauren, same question to you. You have one.
Oh my God. Everyone should go to playlist volume 6. I will say playlist volume. I got to give you the whole old Brian Ferry. God, he's on all my playlists. It's really, I can't choose. You got to go understand the vibe. So go to volume 6 first.
Like asking me to pick my favorite child.
Yeah.
You have 5 of them.
Depends on the day. That's
almost one for every day of the week. So
okay. Well, everyone go check out Instagram, Sistine Spritz. Go to SistineSpritz.com. Check them out on Spotify. And man, what a fun brand and what a great conversation. Thank you both so much.
Thank you so much.
That was super fun.
So fun. So yeah.
Bye, guys.